Hi, my name is Chuck Raffay, and I'm an associate broker with RE/MAX Select Properties. My blog today is about lockboxes and the different types of lockboxes that are used in the Northern Virginia, Loudoun County, Fairfax area. There are actually two different types of lockboxes, and they're very unique in how you can access them. For a very long time, all real estate agents in particularly the Northern Virginia area used to use one primary lockbox. That box system was called Supra. Okay, this lockbox has been around for about 10 years, and for the most part, it's been the only game in town. It runs off infrared technology. You'll see this little glass right over here. Each real estate agent is given an individualized key. The way it works is they simply enter their secret PIN number. They hit enter. They point it towards their lockbox. The lockbox then reads through this glass eye over here this particular key, and as long as the real estate agent is an active member of a local board of associations real estate agent, it will basically let him in or her in. They'll simply pop it open, key will come out. It's that simple. What I liked about this system and the other system as well is that this agent that owns this lockbox will then receive an email telling it that this particular agent just viewed their home. It will also tell them when they viewed it, their MRIS number, what brokerage firm they belong to, and then you're able to contact them and ask for feedback. So for a very, very long time, this was the only real estate lockbox that you will see. So if you assume that we were all basically on the same page, up until last year, you would be right. However, last year, several real estate associations have opted to go into this kind of lockbox. This is called a Century lockbox. It's endorsed by the Association of Realtors. It works off of this key, which is basically like a little credit card. Functionality is the exact same for the general purpose. You take this key, you are sticking it in, you then will punch in your secret code. As long as you are a registered member of a local association and that you are active in that association, this box will open up, the key will then come out. The person that owns this lockbox will also receive an email from the person that owns this key. And then that person will then, this person will then be able to send them an email and find out what time they came in, etc. So for the most part, these two lockboxes work exactly the same. They're totally different in how they look and how they feel, but in terms of functionality, they're exactly the same. So now you're probably asking, okay, great, Chuck, there's two different lockboxes out there. What's the big deal? How does this impact me? I'm trying to sell my house in, say, Ashburn. Well, here's how it impacts you. If you hire a real estate agent and they use this lockbox and they put it on your door in Ashburn, and I'm a real estate agent and I belong to Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, which, by the way, I do, guess what? I can't get in. This means that I've got to call the real estate agent and make an appointment and then come out with the real estate agent to show the house to my property. Now, as a buyer's agent, and I do quite a few buys on my side, I show the average buyer anywhere between 7 to 10 houses per day. My average buyer is looking at anywhere between 40 to 45 houses before they make a decision. If I'm running into a lot of these, and this is all I've got to use, it's just going to make a very long day. It's going to make it just adds that extra level of time and frustration that, honest to goodness, doesn't need to be there. And actually the same happens the other way around. If you're in Ashburn and you put one of these up here and you're part of DAR, the Dulles Association of Realtors, and you have this key, that won't work either. You're stuck. You're basically stuck. You have to call this agent and ask them for permission to come into your house. There are two associations that overlap. There's DAR, the Dulles Association of Realtors, which is basically the Dulles corridor. If you can think of Dulles Airport and go west, that is their primary realtor's home base. So a lot of real estate agents that do business in Ashburn, Leesburg, going west out to Round Hill, Hamilton, they're Dulles Association of Realtors. And they will use this lockbox and they will use this key. So you'll see a lot of this in Western Loudoun County. If you're an NVAR member, Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, well, that's basically, you're looking at Ashburn East. So you see a lot of Vienna, a lot of Chantilly, a lot of Fairfax. Now, having said that, I'm a Northern Virginia Association of Realtors realtor, and I primarily sell in Loudoun County and Western Loudoun County. So my association, Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, only supports one type of lockbox. This is it. You can't buy any other lockbox at the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors. You can't buy any other kind of key at the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors. And the same thing goes for the Dulles Association of Realtors. You can only have one lockbox per association and only one key per association. So you need to know what's on your door. Now, once you figure out what's on your door, say your realtor decides that, this is his lockbox and this is what he or she is going to use, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is a great lockbox. I've used it for 7 to 8 years. Never had a problem with it. It's very secure. But the rub is you want to be able to show your house to people who have this key. So what you have to do now is you have to come up with a plan B. How are these agents, Northern Virginia Association of Realtor agents, who basically are selling houses all over Northern Virginia and all over Virginia, are going to be able to access your house? And vice versa. How's the other way going to work? And you have to come up with that plan B. Now, for a lot of real estate agents, their plan B has been getting this lock. This is a combination lock. I highly discourage this type of combination lock. I think it's very, I think that your level of liability is huge on this. Basically, what you're doing is a realtor is going to call you and they're going to want to enter your house, and you're going to say to them, the combination is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now that agent has your combination, and guess what? They have that combination for life, right? If their client is looking over their shoulder, they see the combo, now they can access it without the realtor. So your level of liability is tremendous. I will tell you personally, as a real estate broker, or even if I wasn't selling real estate, I would not want this on my door. I'm not afraid that somebody's going to cut the lock, because they're not going to cut the lock. I mean, if they want, it's just not going to happen. What I'm concerned about is the fact that there's a combo on here, and there's no way for me to tell who's coming or going. Unlike these, every single time I stick this card in here, it automatically remembers who this person is and takes a timestamp. And the same thing goes for this. So you need to come up with a plan B. What is that plan B? How is that agent going to go into that house if I'm not around? And it's hugely important, especially for Loudoun County, because there is a lot of overlap in Loudoun County. So those are the two different lock boxes, and that's where the overlap is. I highly, again, do not recommend these type of lock boxes. I've also seen agents stick keys underneath the mat, etc. You really don't want to do this. It's just not a safe way to go. So those are your two different types of lock boxes. It's really important that you know which lock boxes are on your door. I know personally, for me as a real estate broker, if I'm working in an area where there's a lot of overlap, and again, that's kind of like the Leesburg area seems to be a huge area where there's a lot of overlap, I use both lock boxes. I will stick one on the door, and I'll stick one on a railing or of some sort, so that a secure place, so that regardless of what key you have, you can get in. If you're out looking to buy a house, you might want to ask your real estate agent what key they use. If they tell you they only have one key and that's their primary key and that's the only key they use, you might want to ask them, well, you're short on time. How do you get into, houses that use this key, right? I mean, these are good questions. These are good conversations to have, and you need to have them with your agents. The agents cannot transfer these keys around. So I can't give my buddy this key and say, here's my ID, go ahead and use it, and vice versa. If the agent is found to be using somebody else's key, they will have their keys privileges revoked, which means they basically can't do business. So it's a huge, huge issue in Loudoun County, Ashburn, Leesburg area. And now you know. So hopefully you've gotten some good information from this. Hopefully this will help you when deciding what real estate agent to use and how best to enter houses, and what to ask when you're talking to a real estate agent. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, right? There's a comment box below. Leave a comment. If you have any other questions or want to talk to me personally, please don't hesitate to drop me an email or give me a quick call. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I hope this was useful for you. Take care and have a great day.